Hello again and welcome to Patrick Smyyfft. It's Myyfft. I'm Patrick Smyyfft and I'm Myyfft, and boy oh boy am I super duper Myyfft. It all goes back to back when I was doing that bull crap thing, running for not governor crap that I was doing. You know what I'm talking about. I said some things in there been taken out of context on the internet. Let's jump right in. You cannot consent to be governed unless because the governed moment are you governed in the consent. Something like, some bull crap like that. What was I saying? I was saying you cannot not consent to consent of not consenting your consent. If you consent to not consenting, then you cannot not consent to consenting. And that's what people are not understanding. When I say you cannot not consent, then you cannot consent. And so here's the most powerful thing you can do with your consent is to end it. This one got taken way out of context. That one was said that I was talking about my personal life. And I said, oh, the best thing for your personal life is to end consent. And I'm talking about when you're doing lady times, folks. They're trying to say that I don't consent with the ladies, or the ladies don't consent, that no woman in their right mind would consent to being in a Smyyfft session. Look at me, man, I'm Patrick Smyyfft. I get all the consent. You gotta be crazy. How are you gonna turn day around and say that I don't want consent in my personal time? You're trying to say that just because I have a philosophy of not consent, and consent is not consent when you consent with me? Ladies, let me tell you something. When you consent with me, you better remove your... No, that's not what I meant. I meant, I got no problem getting consent from the ladies. And all you folks out there trying to twist my words around, trying to say that I don't consent and the ladies don't consent to be with me, let me tell you, Buster, take a look at this hair, take a look at this goatee. The ladies love it, man. Boy, they can't get enough of me. So when you're trying to turn my words around and say, oh, this is consent and this is not consent, and two adults if one of them is Patrick Smyyfft and the other one's a lady time, then Patrick doesn't believe in consent. Therefore, what are you trying to say? That's nasty. That's nasty. I would never consent to not consenting. I would never consent to somebody not consenting, because consent cannot consent. Well, you cannot consent. If I'm consenting and then you consent, then we're consenting. And you better believe if a lady sees me, I'm Patrick Smyyfft. Of course she's consenting, folks. Who are you kidding now? Who are you kidding now? So this is all just a bunch of bull crap from the Libertarian Party of Texas, trying to bring me down and twist my words around, trying to say that I'm not a true philosopher, that my philosophy is impure because it's not consistent across life. In other words, if I'm telling you to remove your consent and that's good, then that I would probably have to apply that to my Smyyfft time with the ladies. You know what I'm talking about? When I say Smyyfft time, if I look at a lady and I say, hey girl, it's Smyyfft time, you better believe she's going to consent, son. And even if she doesn't consent, she going to, well, you know, we'll get that in post-production. But I consent. Okay, let's take a look at another thing that I said is getting taken way out of context. Let's change something. For the first time in history, a NAP compliant for not governor of Texas, a non-aggression compliant for not governor. They're saying there's a double negative there, and they're trying to say that what I'm actually saying is that, again, that if there's a double negative, then that I want to remove the consent, and then all of these statements that follow are then flipped into the positive because I don't know the English language, therefore when I use double negatives, I'm inferring the positive, but let me tell you something. When I promised you that if I lose, and I did, I lost. But when I said that, I'm not going to back down. I'm going to be up in your face. That even if you try to push me away, and you try to push me off of you, and I'm not backing down. I already won, and I already have your consent, whether I took it. And I'm going to be you cannot not consent to me being in your life, libertarians. Look at me close. Look into my soul. Okay, I'm done. But anyway, you cannot remove your consent for me to be around the whether they want me or not. If they all vote and they all consent that they don't want me leading their party, guess what? You can't push me off of you that easy. I'm going to tackle you, Libertarian Party of Texas. I'm going to tackle you. I'm gonna push you to the ground, okay? I'm gonna take you one way or another, Libertarian Party addiction, so you might as well give me your consent. You know what I'm saying? Lead yourself, and by that I mean do what I tell you you should do, and do it my way. I'm Patrick Smyyfft, and this is me, Patrick Smyyfft, and I'm feeling pretty Smyyfft. Okay.